Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamoolam Gurumurtihi Poojaamoolam Gurupadam Mantramoolam Guruvakyam Mokshamoolam Gurukrupa. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Nana Paramatmane Namaha.
Thank you, Krishna. Om Shri Nana Paramatmane Namaha. Yeah, we welcome Mithin back to the satsang. It's after long that we again asked. Yeah, we are asking Mithin to speak again because we've been to Kolkata recently, and I happened to meet Mithin with a patient last week. So he was asking about Kolkata and the experiences, and then we felt it would be good to make Mithin speak this week. Yeah, I mean, this was a way of bringing you back again amongst us, Mithin. So the memories of Nannagaru, Ramakrishna, Buddha, because it was Buddha Jayanti day before yesterday. It will be wonderful to hear you talk. And one more thing, I have a question on behalf of all the devotees for you. As a doctor, as a devotee, a responsible son that you have been, a responsible husband that you have been, a responsible father that you've been. You play so many roles, and you're so cheerful always. You are multi-talented. You can sing, you can dance, you can play guitar, you write books, astronomy. Idi undi idi ledu ani cheppadaniki ledu. Anni talents, and Nannagaru said it was you are gifted. And also standing in a good position in society, you never had the pride of materialistic life. You were always humble, you were always down to earth. Yeah, so it's so wonderful to connect to you, Mithin, and there's so much to learn from you. Because ante advaitam lopala acharana undali, bayatiki manam normal ga untu mana jeevitam normal ga live chestu, doing good deeds without doership, and being lively, being happy and keeping people around you happy is something which is rare. And you've been gifted with it, and we would love to hear from you. Nannagaru eppudu anevaru kada, Mithin will be ever youth ani. There will be no aging for Mithin. So please tell us the secret of your youth and also share all the reminiscences. Yeah.
So the funny thing is, after Nannagaru told that, I actually found out my birth star is Kritika Nakshatra. So
that I see. Okay.
Okay. So before that, I did not know that I was born in Kritika Nakshatram. So after Nannagaru had told that, then I did little research, and then I found out that Kritika Nakshatram, the deity of Kritika Nakshatram is Subramanya Swami. So I think what he meant, I don't know, maybe he meant that I was born under the influence of Lord Subramanya. and that is why that influence is obviously of Lord Subramania, as we are just bodies. So I consider that to be the reason why he said like that. That's what I see.
అందుకే ఐ మీన్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అంటే అంత అటు నుంచి రావాలి ఇటు నుంచి చేసే తక్కువ ఉంటుందని been extremely gifted. Yes, wonderful. And being humble about it. The most important factor is being humble about it. In spite of how much you grew, being humble.
Yeah, I feel humility comes with knowledge only, and when we are having that knowledge that nothing is basically ours or our effort, everything happens by his will only, humility is automatic. You know, you develop pride and arrogance only when you feel that it is we who are doing. I never got that concept. Even if I had that concept, I think Nannagaru removed it in many ways. Whatever that pride or arrogance I might have had inside me, it was only Nannagaru who removed it, and he made me understand that whatever happens by his will only. So I think humility is only a manifestation of our understanding that God's will alone prevails.
That's wonderful. Yes, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, true. So you tell us about how you developed devotion to Ramakrishna, and then how Nana was interested.
Yeah, we are actually Sri Vaishnava Brahmins. So we used to have a joint family in old city of Hyderabad, Puranapur, and my lineage of Pedananas and my grandfather, they're all big priests in that sense. My Pedana was Pradhan Archika for Yadagiri Gutta Brahmotsav.
Swami temple.
On his own hands it happened. My grandfather must have established about hundreds of temples, including Chikkadpalli Venkateshwara Swami Temple and Nannagaru Satsang. So many temples my grandfather established. And Prana Pratishtha it's called, na? Vigramlo Prana Pratishtha koidamu. So all this is what our family was exposed to. So morning to evening there used to be a lot of worship in the house, and there used to be Perumalu is what we call our deity in the house. పెరుమాళ్ళకి మార్నింగ్ ఫుడ్ చేయడము, పెరుమాళ్ళకి సమర్పించుకోవడం, దాని తర్వాత మేము తీసుకోవడము. దీస్ ఆర్ ద థింగ్స్ దట్ ఐ గ్రూ అప్ వాచింగ్ అన్నమాట since my childhood. So two things of my childhood I remember was the flame inside the sanctum of Perumallu always made me feel very attracted to that flame. More than Perumallu's Vigraham, I used to love that flame a lot. I don't know why, but I used to find that there's a lot of austerity and a lot of power in that glory in that flame. That was the first vision I remember in my childhood. The second thing I remember is when I think I was 4 years or 5 years old. It's very difficult to tell what was my age, but one book I came across in that house. In that house there was this photo of a man who was sitting in a Padmasana pose and folded fingers and looking into our eyes, and I felt extremely attracted to that man, and I did not know supreme love which I did not know existed in me suddenly welled up in my heart, and I realized that this person I knew, this person I have loved very intimately, very intensely. And how I did not know, because I was a child, I did not know all that, but something in me told me that you love this man a lot. So it was years, I never found out who that man was because I was a child, I forgot about it. It was only after years and years when I was in college that there was a function in my house, and in that function everyone was taking part. I got bored of the function and I went to the attic of the relative's house just to see if I can while away my time. And there I found a book called Vivekananda, His Call to the Nation. And having been coached in a convent school, and having been coached by other followers of other faith, I actually had developed a little disinterest and disdain towards our deities over a period of time. I used to think that maybe why should gods have anger? Why should gods have arrogance?
Yeah, the different stories of gods where they had fights, they had wars. I had these similar questions also. Do God also need all these?
That's the need. So I felt that maybe I got more attracted, not attracted, I was not very attracted to our faith in that sense. So it was then at that point of time when I opened that book, Vivekananda, His Call to the Nation, I was surprised to read the teachings, the words, and you won't believe it was like really like lightning shocks to my heart, as if some lightning was there in my heart, and shocks I got when I was reading that book. And then I realized what a great faith and what a great heritage our country has. And then I realized that whatever said and done, maybe this is something that I should pursue more intensely. So it was then that after having read that book, I got so much into Vivekananda that I started to think of going and visiting this Vivekananda mission. I actually thought it was Vivekananda, but then I came to know it's called Ramakrishna Mission. So then I went to this Ramakrishna Mutt in Domalguda. And when I went to Domalguda Ramakrishna Mutt, I was extremely surprised to see that man whose photo I saw when I was 5 years old. And I
It's the same.
was exactly Sri Ramakrishna himself. And then I realized that now that I was a little elder, I could understand that maybe some previous birth connection with him, previous birth love for him, I was able to feel now, and I felt very happy, and I totally dived into Ramakrishna literature, Ramakrishna philosophy so much that I was in my intermediate year. I remember in 10th class I was the school topper. I was also the school pupil leader. But in intermediate, all love for this studies, everything left me. And every day I was only reading Ramakrishna mission books, Gospel of Ramakrishna. I must have read so many times. Ramakrishna, the great master, Ramakrishna, his disciples, Vivekananda's teachings, complete works, Sharda Ma's teachings, everything, every book I was.
You read the entire literature with him?
Everything I kept. I must have bought about 50, 60 books at that time, and my whole room was filled with those books, and I was living. I was like sleeping, living, and drinking. Everything was Sri Ramakrishna in that sense. Nothing else mattered to me, and it was something I really loved. And no matter, it was something in the future only I understand after I met Nannagaru that reading about God is different, but understanding through a guru is different. Only thing I could understand about Ramakrishna is, even though sometimes I like this philosophy, I didn't understand his philosophy plus or minus. I only knew that I loved this man like anything. I was totally besotted with Ramakrishna. In fact, I was so besotted with him that I even took a train and went to West Bengal. And in that West Bengal, I visited Kolkata first, Kolkata, Dakshineshwar, Belur Mutt and all that. So I remember when I first went to Kolkata, I didn't wear shoes. I didn't wear chappal, because I felt that this is the place where Sri Ramakrishna has walked. How can I wear chappal where he has walked? How can I wear shoes where he has walked? And I never wore shoes, and I used to go around Calcutta, Belur Mutt, Dakshineshwar, all those places without shoes. And I saw every place. I saw the Ramakrishna's room, Thakur's room. I saw the place where he used to see the Panchavati from. I saw the place where he did Tantric Sadhana. I saw the Shiva temple, the Shiva Vigraha from where the Shiva waves had come and possessed him. And then I saw the Dakshineshwar Kali temple. I saw the tile on which he sat, where this photograph of him was taken. I saw the place where he met Vivekananda first time in Dakshineshwar. Every part of all the Nat Mandirs, all the 12 Shiva temples, everything that I read in the book and I was seeing, I was so ecstatic to realize. And wherever I saw, I used to see the mother only. I felt a mother was existing everywhere in Calcutta. Whichever direction I used to look, I used to see Mother Kali only, and I felt so happy that Ramakrishna was being so benevolent and he was giving me so much of wonderful vision about his place. And it was I can't explain the feeling when I went and saw Dakshineshwar. It was life's goal achieved, I feel. And I couldn't do anything else. I was roaming around Dakshineshwar a lot. Maybe I didn't go to Belur Mutt that much, but Dakshineshwar is what I went to. I went to the Kolpara monastery. I went to this Kalpataru tree I went and saw the Kalpataru tree. I waited for 6 o'clock in the evening because in the literature it is written that in the evening Ramakrishna gets down and he comes and stands under the Kalpataru tree, and everyone who comes and touches him ends up realized for some time. I mean, they attain Brahman, and that is why Ramakrishna was called as That day is called Kalpataru Day, January 1st.
Kalpataru Day. Yes.
Kalpataru Day it is called. So all these things I went around, and I got totally besotted with Ramakrishna so much that I came and I told Dad that I'll become a sannyasin in the Ramakrishna order. I don't want to be a part of the world. I want to dedicate my life to Sri Ramakrishna. So it was then that my dad and my mother understood the gravity of my madness.
Devotion.
And then they came to the room and
mad devotion, which Ramakrishna expressed. Now we read in the Gospel, he was mad of God, and it's so. I mean, you're so connected to him, as you said. No, your previous life's connection to Ramakrishna brought you in this. Like such intimacy you don't develop just like that. Unless you had that past connection with them, and it's so wonderful that you developed it instantly. Such a blessed life.
Yeah, they removed all the photographs, all the books they removed and all that. They bought a bike for me, and they said that
distract you from this.
Yeah, they said God can also be attained by being a householder. You're Ramakrishna himself married, so why do you want to become a sannyasin? So don't harbor such thoughts. We are there for you. Don't be like this. So then I did not understand what to do, but I just left it at that. The change in my life happened when, after this 2 years of total Ramakrishna dependence, I had to give MSET. So MSET was the medical entrance exam that time. So medical entrance exam, when I gave the exam, I was a school topper, so I was expecting maybe 50 ranks or 100th state rank. I got 8,000 rank in the state that time. And 7,926, if I remember right. That's the rank I got. And I was stunned. I was not stunned because of the rank, but I was stunned that suddenly seeing this rank, how bad my parents will feel. That was the sad part of it. And then I came and told Dad and Mom that I didn't make it to MSET. They're very cool. They're like, okay, no problem. Try to give it next year. But somewhere in my mind, I developed some sort of a complaint against Sri Ramakrishna. And I still remember I took the bike that they bought and I started crying all the way from Hapsiguda till Domalguda. I was crying on the Kinetic Honda. And I went there. I sat in front of him and I almost, in a sense, scolded him and saying that because I trusted you, I left everything to you, and you made my parents feel bad about this.
Disappointed.
That's not correct. Okay, I have been consulted with you, but my parents are also important. What mistake did they do that you are making them feel bad about it? So I do not know how it happened, when it happened, but the next day, actually, I had given Manipal exam also, and Manipal results came out. And surprisingly, I got in Manipal University in merit seat. And everyone were telling my parents that this is so wonderful, this is much better than getting a seat in MSET. Manipal is a big university.
Better college.
Yeah, internationally acclaimed university, and your son has got it. It's so wonderful and so this thing so blessed. This university is. It's amazing. So then I was very surprised. The next day itself, or the day after that, I got the result, and it was as if that Sri Ramakrishna was telling me that you should have a little more faith. Type of
Maybe a little more patience, little more faith.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have felt bad for myself. Only maybe because the parents
got
affected.
Of course. Yes.
Parents got affected. Maybe I was little vocal in that sense. So then. It was wonderful. Then we got in, we went to Mangalore and I joined the college. And the funny beauty of Sri Ramakrishna in Mangalore, just about 5 minutes away from my hostel is Sri Ramakrishna Mission and Mutt.
Wow.
And so I suddenly realized what Sri Ramakrishna did. He gave me a freedom to come to Ramakrishna Mission regularly without anyone feeling bad. He gave me a seat so that my parents don't feel bad. And he actually saw that both things work together. Nobody is happy
Awesome, isn't this awesome? Andike, I mean, the will of God is so amazing. If we could just surrender and be, I mean, life is so beautifully taken care of.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh, wonderful.
that
It's
became
so
a
good to
very,
listen to it. Though we've heard your stories before, it's so good to revive them again and again, because it's so important to like having this living faith in our masters within. It's so important to have this living faith in our master,
yes,
and I think that's what runs our life. That's what gets us to our like true heart.
true.
అంటే ఆయనలో మర్జ్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ఆయన పట్ల గౌరవం, ఆయన పట్ల విశ్వాసం లేకుండా లోపలున్న వస్తువు ఆయన స్వరూపాన్ని మనం పొందలేం కదా మీకు.
No, not possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
So it's all his grace and it's like a big person. If he wants to tell Ramakrishna's story is there. He says that if you want, he used to show a zamindar or something, and he used to say that if you want to know about the zamindar, you try to find out from somebody, do your own research, you'll find something about him. But if the zamindar takes a liking to you, he himself will call you and tell that, see, I'm this, I have this, I have that. He will only tell you. So he said God is also like that. If you try to search for God through your means, you will understand a little of him. But if God sees you and God takes you into his fold, you yourself will attain those things which are very difficult to understand or difficult to know
with
about
your human mind. So true.
yeah.
So true.
He said he always used to say that
అంటే
whatever
గురువు పట్టుకుంటే వదలడు, మనం పట్టుకుంటే వదిలేయడానికి స్కోప్ ఉంది.
Scope only. Yeah. So this sentence, two things I remember now. Nannagaru's one teaching in Satsanigama, where he says that whatever you earn, it is good for this body's comfort. That is good. There is no problem. But the same zeal you use in earning God's grace. Deva Ishwaruడి కరుణ కూడా సంపాదించుకోవడానికి try చేయండి. That's what he says. So I feel that Ramakrishna mission is all about surrender and earning God's grace. Second thing again I remember with that sentence is once after I met Nannagaru, that is, once I went to Ramakrishna mission for some dinner, and the president that time I forgot his name,
Paramarthananda
something. Paramarthananda, and he used to sing very well. After that, there is another president who came. I think it's Gyanananda. Some ఆయన ఎవరు ఉన్నారు. సో ఆయన నాతోటి కలిసి నేను అంటే హోల్డ్ ఆన్ టు రామకృష్ణ అని అన్నారు. అంటే నేను ఐ సెడ్ సార్ రామకృష్ణ ఈజ్ హోల్డింగ్ మీ అని చెప్పాను. ఈజ్ ద ఉస్తాద్. ఐ హ్యావ్ he says that's such a great word to say. You have nothing to fear అన్నట్టు he was talking. So it was like that. So Mangalore I used to go every day, or not every day, maybe weekly, many times I used to go, monthly many times I used to go. I used to spend time with the monks now. Those monks who were there, I used to spend time with them. It is now that I remember that one monk was there, I know, Swami Atma Priyananda. So that time
can you be a little louder, Mithu? Somebody saying
yeah,
volume.
Swami Atma Priyananda ani, there was one monk there, and this Swamiji one book comes, one magazine comes from Ramakrishna Mission every month, Udbodhan ani, Udbodhan. So Udbodhan lo he showed me a spiritual technique where a saint was asking us to find out what this eye is.
Okay.
What this eye is. Then is Swami Atma Priyananda. He showed me the Swami Muktipadananda. Now I remember his name. Yeah, Swami Muktipadananda. He showed me this thing, and he said that this saint is telling find out who this eye is and antunaru. So why don't you meditate on this eye for some time in the worship hall of Sri Ramakrishna is what he told Muktipadananda Swami. So it was then that I think subsequently one day when I was trying to do that, and I felt out of peace, and then I saw the flame in front of Sri Ramakrishna in the altar in the worship hall, that something happened to me. I don't remember what it was, but I totally lost my consciousness, and I felt extremely peaceful, timeless in that sense. And I was very much surprised at that state which came. It lasted for a few minutes. I don't remember how much time it was, but then after I came back from that state, I realized that there is something more deep to this particular mode of sadhana, or mode of spiritual thought, that is this I thought. So then I went through Gospel of Ramakrishna. In Gospel of Ramakrishna, what happens is there is an index. In the index, there is always index law. There is always you can find out which teaching Ramakrishna has given therein. So in that, I consciousness used to appear very lot. It used to appear a lot of times. So one thing, when I saw that I consciousness, I went to the book. I realized that Ramakrishna told in one place that find out who this I is. If you find out who this I is, he comes out. అంటే నేను తెలుసుకునేటప్పుడు ఆయన వస్తారు అని, find out who the I is, and he comes out, is what Ramakrishna says. So, but again, it was not so severely imprinted in my mind, this particular thought process. But following this meditation episode, 2-3 days later, when I was waking up from my sleep in the afternoon, between the state of waking up, from sleep to waking up, I suddenly saw Sri Ramakrishna. It is not through eyes. It is not through eyes. I can't describe that feeling. It is as if he was ever present there, and he was looking at me, and he was smiling, and he was sitting on a couch. He was wearing a loin cloth, and he was having his hand on his cheek, and he's looking at me with his legs folded and smiling. And I was telling, why are you wearing a loin cloth, Thakur? And he just smiled, and I lost that vision, and I woke up. So it was so awe-inspiring, that vision, that was a pulsating peace all around me. I immediately knew that this was not a dream. This was something which was very, very different from a dream.
It's a revelation.
Something like that. So I just forgot about it. This happened in 1996 or something. And again, a few weeks or few months later, when I was in my city in Hyderabad, after I woke up from the sleep to waking state, again the same vision appeared, where Sri Ramakrishna now was standing and looking at me, and he was smiling, but he didn't have teeth. His smile did not have teeth. And I was very, very surprised. I was wondering, what happened to your teeth, Thakur? And again he smiled, and I lost that vision, all the revelation, and I woke up. So these two visions were at the back of my mind. It was only...
My God. So wonderful, Mithin. Ramakrishna brought Bhagavan and Nannagaru directly into... It's not just your mind, it's not your dream, it's not your anything, it's straight away intuition.
Straight away he brought. And the funny thing is, when I was in 2000, I came across this book, Timeless in Time, by A.R. Natarajan, I think. A.R. Natarajan. And this is Bhagwan's book. I saw this book in Birla Mandir bookshop. I saw this book, and I immediately bought it, because the same photograph was there, but with a different man, but same pose. And Sri Ramakrishna came in my revelation. And then I realized that Sri Ramakrishna is telling me that, see, this mode of thought, or what I did not know. And I immediately started thinking about a little more about Bhagwan, but it was never to that same madness that I think about Ramakrishna.
You had with Ramakrishna.
I had with Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna literature, left and right, I had read. It was as if something possessed me.
It was a possession only. The way you expressed it, I think he just literally caught you from all over.
Yeah, something possessed me, and throughout the day, sometimes throughout the nights, I used to keep on reading his books. And it was so wonderful in this room of mine, in which I am having this satsang right now. This is the same room which I used to sit and meditate on Ramakrishna. Vivekananda told that one day when he was a child, he was meditating, and Lord Buddha came from the wall. So I was looking at different walls in my room and I was hoping that, which wall Buddha will come from.
And also Nannagaru used to say that you've got eyes of Vivekananda.
Yeah. So,
that's why I said let's do video instead of audio so that everybody could see the Vivekananda eyes of Mithin.
Even this phase of life also, maybe because if someone meditates on someone very intensely, they get his characteristics. So it is like I used to meditate on Ramakrishna and Vivekananda so much. It's not like voluntary meditation. I will sit and do. It was an involuntary meditation. It just came. It was not something which was forced. It just
so meditation happened rather than say you did meditation. Meditation happened to you.
Yeah, maybe I can say 0.001% I must have sat and tried. And it never was the way I expected. It just used to happen. If I used to stop myself and think what I'm thinking, it used to be Ramakrishna. It used to be like that. And it became so this thing. And when he showed me Bhagwan's photo, I was very surprised. What is happening? Maybe Bhagwan also have to think. But I never pursued it. It was then that I had a dream. This was maybe a vision, I don't remember, but I don't remember it was so awe-inspiring. But I had a vision 2 years or 1.5 years before I went to London, which was in 2000 plus 2000, 2001. I had this dream where all the people I love, all that I care about, all of them get into a train in London's train station and they leave. And I'm running behind them. And trying to catch the train, but the train doesn't stop and the train goes away. And I keep crying and I keep crying and I keep crying. So then what happened was I turned to catch the next train. I see Satya Sai Baba standing on the platform. And he looks at me and he smiles and says that in Telugu he says, నువ్వు ప్రేమించిన వాళ్ళందరూ వెళ్ళిపోయిండ్రు నువ్వు వాళ్ళతో నువ్వు వాళ్ళ నుంచి వచ్చే సుఖం నీకు మళ్ళీ నీకు జన్మలో రాదు నువ్వు గురు దక్షిణ ఇవ్వాల్సిన సమయం ఆసన్నమైంది he says. So I say what thing you are talking, just I'll catch the next train. I never was a follower of Satya Sai Baba or never had any of things. So then when I'm trying to move, my legs are not moving. So then he takes out 3 necklaces, and each necklace there will be a deity with a peacock.
Okay.
And those necklaces he puts around my neck. And he says your Guru Dakshina is 31 rupees or something, he says. He says your Guru Dakshina is 31 rupees or 30 rupees or something, and then I lose that vision. Then I was very surprised what is happening, and some spiritual friends I had that time. And I called them up and I said, what exactly does this mean? So I don't know who this God is. So then they said, peacock means it is Lord Subramanya. So then they said that maybe Baba indicated that Lord Subramanya himself will come as your Guru. And you have to wait for him. And I asked, what does it mean, this 31 rupees? And they said, maybe it is your age. That is the age that you will meet him. So then what? That was in 2000 when I was 21, 22 years old. 22 years old I was, 22 running. Then what happened was, after 6-7 years of just trying to make my medical studies, going here and there and all that stuff, I came across another dream this time. This time what happened is that dream I found an extremely indescribably beautiful child of maybe I can say 7 to 9 years. I have never seen such beauty anywhere, and he'll be sitting under a waterfall, and he will be calling out to me to come near him. So once I go near him, I realize that there's something which is moving around him, and I realize it's a huge snake. And I was very surprised. I had no fear. It was so beautiful, that vision. And he looked at me with the most beautiful smile. I still can't replicate that smile. And he looks he points towards the right and says, look there. I mean, with his finger he says, look there. And then I look, there is a Ramalayam there, and behind the Ramalayam I get this huge wave of tsunami, and it comes and drowns me. So then I asked my friends again, what does this mean? What does this dream mean? So then they said, be ready, a guru is coming. The 7 years back or 8 years back, you had that vision, now your guru is coming. Lord Subramanya, we stand in line to go and see Lord Subramanya in temples. He is coming in your dreams. He's coming and calling you. So there's something different. It's going to happen to you very soon. So be prepared. That's what they told me. So I was like, okay, fine. Let us see what exactly this means. And they said that maybe Ramalayam means that Gruhastha Ashramamlo undagane, as householder laga undagane, he will give you everything that you require as a spiritual tsunami. That's what they said.
Wow.
So I said, fine, let us wait and see. So within 1 month of that dream, I came to know through internet. I saw an invitation card that Sri Jinnur Nannagaru is going to give darshan on his birthday
In Satyasai.
In a place called Satya Sai Nigamam. I was like, Satya Sai Nigamam means, is that mean that, what Baba said, I'll see my Guru. So Satya Sai Nigamam, I'll see my Guru, and they say, I immediately...
Also, I'm interrupting you. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. The tsunami thing, no? Like when we, were searching for halls for Nannagaru because he's going to come here to Hyderabad for conducting the, his functions, Guru Purnima and his birthday. So when we began those here in Hyderabad, no, so we were in search of various halls. So then we went to Kamma Sangam first because it's a huge hall. When we asked them, they said it was already booked for 21 days for Shanmugh Sharmagaru or something. Provisions were going on. So then I had to visit, I was told to visit Satyasai Nigamagam. When I went to Satyasai Nigamagam, we wanted a concession because we were doing it for the first time and it's a huge hall. And, their prices are quite high. Then the chairman of their committee had asked me, I told most of us are ladies and we want the hall for a reasonable price because it's a spiritual satsang. Then he said, we don't know who your guru is. We haven't even heard about him. So we don't need an elaborate description of him, just a small paragraph of 4 or 5 lines to describe what your guru is. So 4 or 5 lines from Nannagaru gurinchi manamem rastam asalu. I mean, any volumes rasina taragada ayana gurinchi. 4 lines from what am I to describe about Nannagaru? I couldn't sleep that night. But suddenly in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock or something, I got up, I just penned down a few lines. And then I mentioned him as a spiritual tsunami. And a spiritual tsunami who washed away our life, our egos in his beautiful unconditional love. And it is not something we can express in words what the love of tsunami is swept off. So Allah something like that I have written, and he was so overwhelmed. He said, if I was in charge of it, if I didn't have to speak to the committee, I would have given this hall free of cost.
So lovely.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, these incidents that happened, I mean, it is he who instigates us, it's he who makes us do things, and it's he who accomplishes everything. And then he gives all the credit to us, though he has done everything.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
But at the same time, we think we still exist. But he gives this unalloyed peace and bliss. Come here. You don't have to live separate from me.
True, that is absolutely.
Yeah, please. Carry on, Mithin. Then, that's how you came to Nigamagam.
Yeah. So, if it was something that somebody had indicated, I would have had different thought process. But if you can see over a period of now nearly 14 years, 1995 to 2008, 13 years, I was regularly was given updates of what to expect, when to expect, how to expect, and whom to expect. It was something like, I was being prepped up for this particular moment where I will see Lord Subramanya himself in the form of a divine person. and I was very much excited, and I came to Satyasai Nigamam, and I sat somewhere in the last seats of the hall, and I was looking at Sri Nannagaru, and I was listening to his pravachan. And after the pravachan was over, throughout the pravachan, I felt he talked very well. He was amazing, great personality. But the moment he stopped speaking, something in me started to get a feeling of extreme reverence, extreme peace, extreme awe for him. And I realized that his silence was so pulsatingly beautiful that I have never experienced such silence in anyone. And then I immediately came to know, I came to understand that I was in the presence of a great saint in that sense. And I mean, that time I didn't think of him as God. I thought of him as a saint only, and it was still Ramakrishna only for me, everything. So then I came down when the satsang was over, and I was standing in front of the stage, and I was sending him mind waves, saying that, see, I don't know who you are, but you have dragged me here to a very wonderful conglomeration of intersection of events. So kindly acknowledge me. I have come for you. Please, if I belong to you, kindly acknowledge me, is what I told him through mind. I didn't talk to him. So there are thousands, hundreds of people were coming. They're talking to him. They're giving him his children to hold, taking blessings. So many things was happening, and I was thinking that if he is divine, see what happens. Ramakrishna philosophy people many times, the thing they remember a lot is when Ramakrishna saw Vivekananda for the first time, Ramakrishna takes him aside and cries and says that, where have you been, and I've missed you all my life. You are my beloved devotee. So many times Ramakrishna mission follow devotees, whenever they meet their Guru, they expect, maybe they have that complex in them, that he also should acknowledge us, that we belong to him. That is the way that we know that we belong to him. So maybe that complex was there in me, I don't know. So I was saying that, please acknowledge me. And the funny thing is, in that 10-15 minutes, he looked everywhere possible, even over my left shoulder, even over my right shoulder, but he didn't look at me. So then I realized that maybe we are not connected, and then I came out of the hall and I went out. But no sooner that I went out, I realized again that maybe I'm acting out of arrogance. Why should such a great divine person, who has got thousands and thousands of people who are waiting for his darshan and who are waiting for his blessings, look at someone who is as inconsequential as me? So then thinking that, let me be humble for some time at least and take his blessings, and I came back. I went back inside and I climbed the stage. It was as if like a wave. The moment I climbed the stage, he turned back, and people just parted their ways for his gaze to follow, and he looked at me and he smiled. And I was stunned to realize it was the same smile that I saw in Sri Ramakrishna in 1996 in that vision. And I suddenly realized that Sri Ramakrishna was telling me that now you see me in him.
Nannagaru. Wow.
Wow. And I was so listening, and I did namaskar to him. I tried to talk to him, but he didn't talk to me. He just touched my cheek. He patted my cheek like this, and that sensation that we call as paresthesia in medical science, that Telugu chimchimalatamu or ant crawling, that sensation didn't leave me for 1 to 10 days. It didn't leave me for 1 to 10 days. And I did not know what to do for that, and I felt restless for Arunachalam. So within 10 days of seeing Nannagaru, I immediately went off to Arunachalam, and I saw the hill. I went to Nannagaru Ashramam, and I got a room there, and I saw Arunachalam. I did Giri Pradakshina. I felt blessed and I felt happy, and I came back. But again, I don't know what was the pull of that place. Again, after 10 days, again I felt like seeing Arunachalam. Again I went back. But this time when I went back to Arunachalam, I came to know that Sri Nannagaru is there in the ashram. So I was very happy that I will be able to meet him a little more personally, perhaps, now that the rush is little less compared to the Satsang Nigamam in Hyderabad. And I was waiting near his room in the evening. I came to know that he went to Ramanashramam. So I was waiting for him in the room, near the room. So I forgot the devotee's name, but the elderly gentleman. He actually went to Nannagaru when Nannagaru came back from the Ramanashrama and is climbing the steps. He went to Nannagaru and he said that Nannagaru, Mikosam, somebody has come from Hyderabad. So again, to my surprise, Nannagaru, nobody knows me there. So Nannagaru, bokkal doctor kadandi నాకు తెలుసండి అని అన్నారు. అంటే I was very surprised. Like, how does he know that I have come? Nobody knows me here. I don't know any of the devotees. I didn't have any acquaintance with you.
Yes.
Nobody I knew. So he was saying the bokkal doctor kadandi నాకు తెలుసండి, and he came and looked at me and smiled and he touched my shoulders. He rubbed my shoulders like how he does to everyone. Then he took me inside and he made me sit. And the moment he made me sit, he looked into my eyes with so much curious love. I have never seen anybody look into my eyes like that. And then I don't know what he saw. He kept smiling, and I told. He asked me what I am and all that, where I am from. And I said I'm a orthopedic surgeon. I'm from Hyderabad, and I'm quite a famous doctor and quite a successful doctor is what I told. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I was trying to impress that. I don't know what I was trying to impress. But Sri Nannagaru smiled and said that, "Oh, you're a very famous doctor at such a young age, and you must be very happy in your life." That's what he said. And I was stunned the way he told, because I did not know whether I was really happy or not. And I did not know what exactly he meant by the word happy. And I realized that yes, something was really missing. That happiness was really missing. And then he smiled and he touched my shoulder, and he talked some small things with me. I told that my wife was pregnant, and he said, no, nothing will happen, don't worry. She'll have a good delivery method. And then he blessed me, and I went off. I did Giribalam, I think. And then next day early morning, I went to his room and knocked his room, and he opened the door. And I said, Nannagaru, I'm leaving, and he gave me some supportas for the journey back, and he blessed me. And then I came off. So once I came back home again, it became a lot of practice-oriented life, and I got left. I got totally involved in my practice and all that stuff. Then what happens? My mother faced an issue that she had some surgery, hysterectomy she had, and the wound got complicated, infected, very bad, because she was diabetic. And that complication was so bad that slowly over a period of 1 week to 10 days, myself and my dad understood we might lose our mother. Because as doctors we know. So it was then that I forgot again the devotee you told me, but one devotee, she was a lady. She had purchased a land in Arunachal. I forgot her name. So she actually told me, she called me and said, Mithin, Nannagaru is there in Amirpet. And I said, okay ma'am, thank you so much. And then I thought about it, and I said that I have prayed to deities, I have prayed to idols, I have prayed to so many things in my life. Let me pray to a living God, who is Sri Nannagaru, about my mother. So then I went to Amirpet, SR Nagar flat, and I waited outside because they told me he was having his bath. I went at 9:15. I think it was after the morning satsang. And I was asked to wait outside, and I sat outside. I was waiting for him. Then the door opened after 10-15 minutes, and the devotees went and told him somebody has come. And again he said, Dr.Mithin, no, I know him. Atma Bandhu Amma Naku, Atma Bandhu Amma. He called me inside, and he said, Mithin, you need not wait outside ever like this. Even if I'm inside, you can just push the door and you can come inside. You have that right. And I was very, very surprised, and I was saying, okay, Nannagaru. And then he made me sit, and he asked me why I came. I told him my mother is not well. So he showed Bhagwan's photo on the wall, and he said, I'll ask him. And I got so much confident that I don't know, somewhere a small lotus flower like thing opened in me, and I said that Nannagaru, you are God. And he said, he smiled and looked at me and he said, Emanna Randi. And I said, Nannagaru, from today, Ram Krishna and you are not different for me. You are Sri Ram Krishna himself. For me, there is no other God. And he smiled and said that, cherish this feeling.
Wow.
Cherish this feeling, that is enough for you.
Excellent. Excellent. Please repeat in Telugu what he said.
ఈ భావన మీకు సరిపోతుందండి, చెరిష్ దిస్ ఫీలింగ్, ఇది కాపాడుకోండి. దట్స్ వాట్ I was like totally decided, because it was not something that I came out of my personal feeling. It was something that happened inside me that made me realize that I am sitting in with God. There's no other God in heaven, on earth, or anywhere who's higher to him. He's
right in front of you. Yes.
He's everything. So that is what happened, and my mother made an amazing, excellent recovery. In fact, she made so amazing recovery that even myself and my dad, as doctors, we were not able to explain. But she made an amazing recovery, and I came and met Nannagaru many times in SR Nagar flat, and I used to tell him, but he never took credit for it. He just waved it off as if it did not matter. So before coming to SR Nagar, now I remember, after Arunachalam, before coming to SR Nagar, actually I had called him once. I don't know how I got the guts to call him. I called him once in Jinnuru, and somebody lifted the phone, and I said, I want to speak with Nannagaru. And I don't know whether that person said Nannagaru, I mean, as if calls are not allowed, I don't know. But Nannagaru again took the phone himself, and he said, Mithin. And then I said, Nannagaru, Guru Bhyo Namaha. So then he gave a pause, a very conspicuous 1 to 2 second pause, and he I could feel him smile.
You could feel his smile.
I could feel his smile across the phone, and he said, Mithin, nenu intiki osta, I'll come to your house. This is the third meeting I had. That is, first was in Satsangam, then Arunachalam, then the third time I talked with him, not meeting.
On the phone.
In 2008 December, he told me, I'll come to your house once, then intiki osta. And then next I met him in SR Nagar, and mother and all that. So over a period of time, many times I used to feel very much attached to him, and I used to come and I used to sit with him, but never I sought anything spiritual from him. I used to like him, I used to love him, I used to like everything about him. I used to feel very happy to be with him. But things like moksha, spirituality, nothing like that came to my mind. If anything that came to my mind was the concept that Sri Nannagaru is such a great saint, such a famous saint all over, not only in Andhra but all over the world. He's got a very vibrant community which is attending to him. If I can fall more into his eyes, there are chances that I might get patients from his devotees, and I might operate on them, and I might be able to earn money and also some name and fame through that. So this is the thought process I had. So with this thought process, one day I went to SR Nagar flat, and I went, and there is another room where he has his breakfast opposite to
food. Yeah.
So
that same flat opposite.
Yeah, that day he was having his breakfast there with his back turned to us, and I came, and Ramchandra Raj garu annaru, Nannagaru Mithin ochindandi ani. Nannagaru said, okay Mithin, you sit, and he kept having his breakfast without turning. And instead of seeing Nannagaru having his breakfast, I was seeing all the people had gathered there. I could see 2 or 3 people with some X-rays or MRIs waiting there, and I thought that how lovely all these patients have come to me, and I get to operate on them and earn money and all that stuff. I was thinking, and I was looking at them more than I was looking at Nannagaru. It was then that Nannagaru finished his breakfast, washed his hands, and he turned, wiping his hands with the towel. He looked at me, and then he looked at everyone else was gathered there, and he said, in Telugu, he said, meeku evarkanna orthopedic problem unte Mithin tote operation cheyinchukondamma, inkevar dariki chestaramma. And then looked at me and he smiled. He smiled as if, did I speak correctly? Correct gaane maatladunna ani. And he looked at me. Maatladesariki, it is a fact that in my heart, ila chitikesinattu, like that sound, like thing happened in my heart, and that concept that I should what you call make profit from somebody else's suffering, especially Nannagaru's devotees, left my thought process forever. Maybe that thought would have given me so many births, I don't know, and emancipation would have been so difficult. But Nannagaru, in that 1 minute, 1 second, removed that concept that it never came back. In fact, I became so extreme that I started to do. I never used to charge Nannagaru's devotees that time. I used to keep on talking about him and all that stuff. So that time,
probably I think probably you need to pause here, because I need to mention the significance of this, Mithin. That one thought about materialistic improvement, and then Nana just looked at you and said that, and in a fraction of a second the thought process was erased for good. And I mean, this recognition, I mean, like, it's not not all of us will be blessed with this recognition that this is our vasana. We are not supposed to proceed with this vasana, and this is harmful to our spiritual progress. And instantly recognizing it, coming out of it, and never again its repetition, which happens in grace. And the reception is so important.
Very important.
Otherwise, that one thought, as you said, no, you very quickly said, that thought would have given me many, many births. It could have given even hundreds of births. So, oka thought can give you hundreds of births, and manaki teliyadam. Oka thought manaki hanikaram ani teliyadam. A thought kuda manaki bhagavantuliki addani telisi aa thought lonchi bayatiki raavadam. అది సాధకుడి లక్షణం. ఐ మీన్, సాధన మనం చేయలేము, అనుగ్రహంలో జరుగుతుంది. బట్ అన్లెస్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఫెయిత్, అన్లెస్ యూ హ్యావ్ స్ట్రాంగ్ లివింగ్ ఫెయిత్ ఇన్ యువర్ గురు, we can't be this receptive. And it's so important to keep this living faith in you, as long as, I mean, you in the sense, all of us, I mean, you are already there. What my plea to all our devotees is, Nana was, is, and will be our everything, and he has already done most of the work. అంటే ఆయన పనంతా కూడా ఆయన చేసి వెళ్ళారు. ఏదన్నా లోటు వెలితి ఉంటే, that's because we were not receptive enough to understand him and his grace. So let's not waste time or look around for help from somewhere, because it's here, right here in our heart. He filled our lives, he filled our moments, he filled our everything with his grace, beauty, and satisfaction, complete contentment. సో ఎక్కడో ఇంకా ఏదో ఉందనో, లేకపోతే ఎక్కడో ఏదో ఇంకా పొందొచ్చనో, అది కేవలం మనల్ని మనసు మోసం చేస్తుంది. ఇట్స్ ఓన్లీ యువర్ మైండ్ డిసెప్షన్ దట్ దెర్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్వేర్. దెర్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ ఎనీవేర్ ఎల్స్. సో నోయింగ్ దట్ హీ ఈజ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్, నోయింగ్ దట్ హీ ఈజ్ ది ఓన్లీ వన్, and that's where we need to reside, and that's where we will disappear into him for good, forever. And he alone exists అనేది experience will be only with Nana అనేది pure conviction to manam unte, we don't need sadhana. Sadhana happens the way it happened to you. You don't have to really do anything, you just have to love him and believe that he does everything, because he does everything is the truth.
True.
Yeah. Thank you, Mithin. Thank you so much. Yeah, please continue.
So after that thought left me, many times I used to meet Nannagaru, which is really the simple talk about how are your patients, how is your work going on and all that, but nothing regarding spirituality used to happen. So then it was then that I met a few devotees of Nannagaru, like Bhishma and Vijay and all that, and slowly over a period of time they also made me understand that Nannagaru is someone whose spirituality is much more deep than one can even imagine. So it's better for you to go and take the grace of that spirituality also. So they told me about this early morning satsangs that happen. So I did not know about this early morning satsang. So when they told me about this early morning satsangs, I came for one satsang at 6 o'clock in the morning. So it was so funny that I just went and sat somewhere else, And every devotee said that, no, you come and sit here in the front. We are coming for the first time. You sit in front of Nannagaru's seat. Let him talk with you and all that stuff. And then I came and sat, and I was in shirt. I had put my shirt inside and I was tucked up and all that. Nannagaru
and your tie, Nana was fascinated by it.
Yeah. I mean, he used to ask why all that. I said, sir, Nannagaru, patients will feel more confident. If they see a well-dressed doctor, they'll feel little more positive. So he said that after that, never, every time you meet me, as much as possible, dress with a tie and be formal. Look somewhere as someone who gives off positive vibes laga. మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా నాకు కలిసినప్పుడు టై ఇంకా షర్ట్ వేసుకొని కలవండి అని అన్నారు. So it was like that. So the funny thing is, that day I was having some stomach problems, stomach issue, some heavy pain in the stomach, and I was sitting in front of him. He looked at me and he said, untuck your shirt. I said, why, Nana? He said, but your stomach pain will come down, he said. I was like, what is this? I was okay, fine. And then I untucked the shirt. I was like, so I mean, these things.
Embarrassed or surprised?
You read this thing in books.
Yeah. Until you haven't mentioned it to him. You didn't mention about it. Yeah. Okay. So casual గా షర్ట్ ఇన్సర్ట్ తీసేసేయండి, కడుపులో నొప్పి తగ్గిపోతుంది
అని అన్నారు. ఒకరోజు once in Amirpet, I couldn't meet him that day because I had severe headache. Next day when I went to meet him, I felt little embarrassed that I couldn't come and meet him the day he came to Hyderabad. And he smiled and said, Mithin, you don't have the headache now. ఇప్పుడు హెడేక్ లేదు కదండి మీకు, ఉన్నది మీరు కాదండి అని అన్నారు.
What a teaching, my God.
So నాకు
I mean, the way, because it's like this, no? Like, see, he imparted his spiritual knowledge to people in such a beautiful, subtle way, in a way which suits each one of us. It's not necessary you have to go sit with him, hours together, days together, to imbibe what he's speaking. ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు వచ్చావు, తలకాయ నొప్పి వచ్చింది ముందు రోజు రాత్రి, ఇప్పుడు నీకు తలకాయ నొప్పి లేదు కదా, మీకు తలకాయ నొప్పి పోయింది, నీకు తలకాయ నొప్పి ఉన్నది, నువ్వు కాదు, అయిపోయింది. I mean, he has అంటే the excellent spiritual instruction that he had to give. It's casual గా తలకాయ నొప్పి లేదు, ఉన్నది, నువ్వు కాదు, అయిపోయింది. లైక్ రామకృష్ణ సెడ్, ఈ నేను కాదని తెలుసుకోవడమే మోక్షం, అయిపోయింది.
దట్స్ ట్రూ. అంటే నేను చెప్పలేదు ఆయనకి, చెప్పకపోయినా కూడా ఆయనకు అన్ని తెలిసిపోయేవి. నాకు అదే భయం ఉండేది ఆయన అంటే ఇనీషియల్ గా. అందుకనే ఫస్ట్ టైం when I went and sat with him, అవుట్ షర్ట్ చేసుకోమన్న తర్వాత నా కళ్ళలో చూస్తారు, నేను ఎలాంటి వాడినో తెలుస్తుంది. హీల్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ వాట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ అ పర్సన్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సచ్ ఎ గుడ్ పర్సన్. హీల్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ and he'll start hating me, he'll start all these things, and I felt very, very stressed inside,
discomfort.
But then my spiritual friends, they told me, unless the surgeon you tell all your problems,
you allow him to do it. Correct.
How will he remove your problem?
Yes.
So I said, okay, fine, let me be very open with Nana. And I opened my eyes and I looked into his eyes, and in my mental mind I said, please see whatever you want to see. I am bad, okay, fine, but you see whatever you want to see. I don't want to hide anything from you. So I have so many. So he looked into my eyes for so long, and I felt so amazingly peaceful. It was such a different thing to explain. I could see a thought rising. For example, my left side of my brain, a thought was rising. I could see the thought rising, and he looked at that thought, and the thought came down.
I mean, it's like it was like he is looking at himself, and he didn't give a scope for Mithin to come up. I think it was like this, because that's my experience too. I mean, it's an experience of all the devotees, most of us. When he looks into your eyes, you're gone.
You're gone, true.
మన ఇండిపెండెంట్ నేను ఉండదు, ఎందుకంటే ఆయన మనల్ని చూసినప్పుడు ఆయన చూసుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. When he looks deep into you with a huge compassion in his eyes, to overflowing tsunami of love and compassion, ఏమవుతుందంటే you don't exist anymore. So he's straight looking at himself in you.
Yes.
అప్పుడు నేను అనేది ఆయనకి భిన్నంగా ఏదైనా వస్తే అది స్ట్రేంజర్ కింద తెలుస్తుంది. That's not you. That you and your guru are one. Ante adi ledu. Adi vachedi is not you. So it's a strange thing. That's why our master is so great, Mithin. Ante great annu kuda chala, I mean, alpamaina maate anipistundi naku. Endukante you can't even express about his love or what he is. Endukante I mean oka సద్గురువు అంటే తాస్పాం లాంటి వాడు సద్గురువు అన్నా చూడు. ఒక్కసారి కాటేస్తే అయిపోతాం ఇంక. దిస్ నో లుకింగ్ బ్యాక్. అంటే దిస్ నో స్కోప్ ఫర్ యూ టు సర్వైవ్ అన్నట్టు. లవింగ్ అంటే ఈ కాట అయితే భయపడు. ఇప్పుడు కోబ్రా కాటేస్తే భయం, బట్ ఈ కాట ఎలాంటిది అంటే జన్మ పరంపరలో నుంచి మనకి బయటకి తీసుకొచ్చేసి స్వీట్ పాయిజన్ అనమాట. అండ్ మనకి నొప్పి పెట్టకుండా. నితిన్, ఇప్పుడు జనరల్ గా సాధన పేరు మీద చాలా కష్టము ఇబ్బందులు ఉంటాయి, బట్ దిస్ వాజ్ సో వండర్ఫుల్ బికాస్ హీ వాజ్ యాక్చువల్లీ సిప్పింగ్ అస్. ఇప్పుడు బాగా ఇష్టం ఉంటే నీకు కాఫీ సిప్ ఎలా చేస్తావు అలా మనల్ని సిప్ చేసి పడేశారు. మన ఈగోలు ఇష్టంగా సిప్ చేసి పడేశారు.
క్లియరింగ్ ద మాస్ లాగా రామకృష్ణ ఫిలాసఫీ, రిమూవింగ్ ద మాస్, the Brahman is seen and Ramakrishna antaru, we are the moss, maybe removing it, he run to seeing himself. Like that.
I mean, that's the only way we could experience him అనిపిస్తుంది Mithin. ఏ సాధన చేస్తే మనం మన గురువుని అలా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చేస్తాం, unless he bestowed it on us.
Yes, that's absolutely all his grace, his will today also.
Yeah. సో అట్లా లైక్ దెన్ హీ వాజ్ లుకింగ్ త్రూ యూ అండ్ దెన్ అదే స్కానర్ చూసినట్టు మొత్తం స్కాన్ చేసి మొత్తం ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఏముందో చూసేసి హీ ఫినిషెస్ ఇట్ ఆఫ్. డయాగ్నోసిస్ అండ్ ట్రీట్మెంట్ ఎట్ ది సేమ్ టైం.
సో దెన్ మొత్తం చూసిన తర్వాత ఐ ఫెల్ట్ వెరీ రిఫ్రెష్డ్, I felt very open, I felt very relaxed. It was then that I said that in my mind I told him that, see, now you know who I am, because you have seen inside, you know who I am. Please show me who you are. That's what
yes.
In my mind, not through words.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Then I don't know how it happened, when it happened, but when Nannagaru was looking at me, I could see only two normal eyes. But when he closed his eyes, I immediately, మన విలేజ్ గాడెస్ లో రెండు పెద్ద కళ్ళు ఉంటాయి చూడండి, విలేజ్ గాడెస్.
అదే గ్రామ దేవత. అమ్మవారు
ఆ రెండు కళ్ళు తెచ్చుకున్నాయి. ఇలా కళ్ళు మూసుకుని
ఉన్నారు, కానీ ఇట్ వాజ్ ఓపెన్ విత్ హిస్ క్లోజ్డ్ ఐస్. ఐ గెట్ దట్.
మళ్ళీ ఇట్లా ఓపెన్ చేస్తే నార్మల్ కళ్ళు నాన్నగారి, మళ్ళీ కళ్ళు మూసుకుంటే అమ్మవారి కళ్ళు. అసలు నాకు అప్పుడు దెన్ ఐ స్ట్రక్ మీ దట్ he is nobody but the divine mother of the universe.
Mother,
అమ్మవారు ఎవరైతే, later I think he told some devotees that Mithin has been a devotee of divine mother in previous births, and that is why he has been brought here. That's what he told some devotees. I came to know. We saw even after that there was not a single moment where he looked at me, and then when he closed his eyes, I didn't see those eyes. Every time I saw those eyes. When he was walking, when he was sitting, when he was laughing, whenever he closed his eyes, those eyes used to.
You could see those eyes.
Yeah, till the every moment, every frame of my life which I spent with him, till the last moment when I was with him.
When you met him in Jinnur.
Also, the same eyes.
Wow.
So it was like that. So
what a beauty kada. Within అంటూ ఉంటారు కదా. Within and without లేదు, everything was beauty with him.
Yeah, true.
లోపల బ్యూటీ, బయట బ్యూటీ, దిస్ నథింగ్. అదే అంటే thou are beautiful అని పాట పాడతారు కదా, ఓ గాడ్ బ్యూటిఫుల్. అంతటా నువ్వే, thou are high in the mountain, thou are deep in the ocean. So like within the without లేకుండా everything was filled by Nana.
That is true. అంటే దిస్ విజన్ నాకు పీస్ కంటే కొంచెం ఇచ్చింది. ఇట్స్ లైక్ హెడ్ మిస్ట్రెస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఆఫ్ స్కూల్ కూర్చొని చూస్తుంటది కదా అందరినీ. ఐ గాట్ దట్ ఫీలింగ్ when I saw him, that the divine mother of the universe who is actually taking care of the cosmos is sitting in front of me.
You remind me. You remind me of this, Mithin, because we've been to Kolkata recently. It's written there that a hall where Ramakrishna lived 16 years and he had these spiritual awakenings and huge experiences in the hall. And Ma used to come as a small child playing with her anklets. Anklet sound తో ఆడుకుంటూ పరుగులు పెట్టుకుంటూ she climbs the terrace through the steps and she waits for him to come చూస్తుంది వస్తాడా రాడా అని. He goes behind her and she's watching over Kolkata.
He sees her everywhere.
అంటే బాల్కనీ అక్కడ ఆవిడ నుంచి మొత్తం కల్కట్టాను అలా కన్నేసి చూస్తూ ఉండేవారట కదా. And then Ramakrishna used to go into samadhi seeing it.
When Ramakrishna developed throat cancer, Sharada Devi sees goddess Kali walk towards her with her neck bent like this. ఏమైందమ్మా నెక్కి ఏమైంది నీకు అని అంటే క్యాన్సర్ ఉంది కదా అని అంటుంది. Sharada Devi sees goddess Kali with her neck bent like this.
So she asked Ma Kali, మీకేమైంది అంటే క్యాన్సర్ ఉంది కదా
అని. Different. It's an amazing asala Ramakrishna philosophy, Ramakrishna literature is so amazing. You just get tsunami laga, as in that word. I think
I think that's the only word you can use for their grace. Tsunami ఎందుకంటే ఇంకా అడ్రస్ లేకుండా పోవడమే, like you don't have a choice.
So then on that day, after I saw him like that, when he got up and he was walking towards the room, I was very near to him. I was standing and he was looking at me, smiling as if he knew that I saw the Divine Mother. And then he said something about Ramakrishna, and I said, "You are my Ramakrishna. You and Ramakrishna are one." I told him this. You and Ramakrishna are one. So he looked at me and his eyes immediately changed, and you know that Ramakrishna laga kallu ayipini immediate ga sagam bimmam exactly Ramakrishna eyes laga ayi navvi, yes, I and Ramakrishna are one and another. He told me this. He said, I and Ramakrishna are one. అని స్మైల్ చేసి లోపలికి వెళ్ళిపోయేసరికి నేను అసలు నేను ఏం చేస్తానా, ఇలాంటి డివైన్ పర్సన్ నా లైఫ్లో వచ్చిందని నాకు అర్థం కాకుండా ఫ్యూ డేస్ I was drowned in this and also drowned in doubt. What is this grace is giving me and all that. నాకు కొంచెం ఇబ్బంది. That time I used to feel a little embarrassed because I used to show so much of love to me that I used to feel that Nannagaru, why are you showing so much of love? I will feel embarrassed kada, I'm not such a great guy and నాకు అనిపించేది. So it was one such thought I had one day when I was sitting in front of him. I was thinking like that. He looked at me and he smiled without even my asking, without me expressing any doubt. He said, Mithin, నీకు నీ పూర్వ జన్మలు తెలియదు, నాకు తెలుసు, అందుకనే నేను నీకు ప్రేమ చూపిస్తున్నాను. దట్స్ వాట్ హి సెడ్. నీకు నీ పూర్వ జన్మలు తెలియదు, నీ పూర్వ జన్మలో చేసిన ఒక పుణ్యం నిన్ను ఇక్కడ తెచ్చింది, అది నాకు తెలుసు, నీకు తెలియదు. That is why I am grateful. That's what he said. And I said, okay, fine. నేను ఆలోచించినా కూడా ఆయనకు తెలిసిపోతుంటాయి కదా.
ప్రతి ఆలోచనకి సమాధానం,
ప్రతి ఆలోచనకి ఏం చేస్తాము, వాట్ కెన్ వి డూ అన్నట్టు నేను ఐ జస్ట్ లెఫ్ట్ ఇట్ అనమాట. ఓకే ఫైన్ అని అనుకుని ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ ఐ హావ్ టు గో అండ్ హైడ్ సమ్వేర్ ఇన్ ద సత్సంగ్ హాల్, సిట్ సమ్వేర్ ఇన్ ద బ్యాక్, sit somewhere where he can't see. He used to search me out and he used to point and he used to say, come and sit here. He used to ask me to come and sit. So then I used to go and sit in front of him, and then he used to teach me a lot of things, beautiful things he used to teach. And I remember devotees told me that Dr. Garu, you sit in front of him because when you sit in front of him, Nana subject amazing chaptaru and we love it a lot. Okay, fine. And most of the time whenever I used to come, when I used to get time to come, I used to come and sit in front of him and he used to talk. So it was in that sense, one day he said, Mithin, sadhana, what sadhana are you doing? He said in Telugu. And I said, Nana, I was just like that. And he's like, Yemanarandi, he said, what are you saying? I said, Nana, I have not done any sadhana, I have left it to you. So then he said that Mithin, this path is correct for you. మీరు సాధన చేయకండి, నేను మీ గురించి సాధన చేస్తాను, మిమ్మల్ని నేను ఈ రోజు నుంచి దత్తత తీసుకున్నాను, మీ స్పిరిచువల్ వెల్ఫేర్ నాకు వదిలేసేయండి. యూ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ పేషెంట్స్, వాట్ ఎవర్ God has given you good heart and good mind. మీరు వాళ్ళకి నొప్పి తగ్గించడానికి you serve వాళ్ళని you serve them. You leave your spiritual welfare to me. మీరు సాధన spirituality పేరు పైన సాధన మీరు చేసి టెన్షన్ పెట్టుకోకండి. And it was like he told me that God has given you a work in this world that is to elevate patients' problems. So you do that work. You leave that spiritual welfare to me. That is what I think he meant. After that, usually I never indulged leaving my practice or leaving my patients. In fact, whenever I used to come to Jinnur, he used to ask, "Are your patients fine? Did you leave them and come here?" He was more concerned that my patients are fine. People are more.
True.
So I think what he meant to us, what work was supposed to be done by this body is to take care of other sufferings and treat them orthopedic wise, because that is what God has given me. Spirituality, sadhana, maybe something is through this way only,
Honestly, yes. It's so true, Mithin. Work is worship కింద నువ్వు చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తూ ఉండు. That is a part of your sadhana.
Not being mindful about what to attain, what to achieve, but do the work God has given to you, the best of your ability, and don't expect ఈ సాధన చేసి ఇది సంపాదిస్తే అట్లా కాకుండా మీకు దేవుడు మంచి మనసు ఇచ్చిండు. He has given you a good heart and a intelligent mind. This is what he said. So do that. You leave your spiritual welfare to me. నాకు వదిలేసేయండి, నేను చూసుకుంటా అని అన్నారు. And I was very much I said fine, because నాకు, to be very frank, don't mind my saying this, మోక్షము ఇవన్నీ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ నాకు అసలు I had no attraction. నాకు చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి ఉన్న అట్రాక్షన్ ఒకటే was రామకృష్ణ. I used to love him like anything. Now that same love got transmitted to
Nannagaru.
So throughout the time I used to think of Nannagaru, and I never had that thought, I should have this experience, I should have that experience. I never got that feeling because he didn't give me that a concept good iledu. Endukante I'll tell you, he used to give me regularly experiences also without my asking. One such experience I'll tell you. One day when I was just sitting in front of him, he suddenly looked at me in English and he said, "Within you'll attain oneness with the cosmos." That's what he said in English. He said, "Within you'll attain oneness with the cosmos." He said, and when he said that, I was very surprised. I said, "Okay, fine." It was not very later after that. He told it on October 2nd. I remember that date, October 1st or 2nd, 2010 he told. And October 10th I went for this movie. It was Rajnikant's movie which was releasing in theaters. It was Robo. So all of us, our family, we all went in the morning show, 5 o'clock show, 6 o'clock show. We went in the morning and we sat and we were looking at the movie. And I don't know when it happened, how it happened. One scene comes when Rajnikant comes in the form of the Divine Mother. He gets all the weapons and he becomes like a Divine Mother. The moment I saw it, I suddenly remembered the Divine Mother, and something in me happened. A small knot in my heart opened. It got, mudi vippinattu. I got, and I got extreme peace and extreme infinity. I could see that I was that infinity. I could see the entire cosmos as one and as me. I saw the entire cosmos as one and as me, and I realized.
And you.
I know my family is here on the other side, my friends and family. The fights are going on, but I'm extremely peaceful, as if I don't belong there. I am totally beyond the five fabric of senses. So that one experience of mine was so blissful, so immediately infinite, that I realized that whatever Nannagaru just says as if as a passing remark also comes to be fulfilled. And I realized Sri Nannagaru is giving me this feeling. Giving me this experience. I realized that he was doing all these things, and I was very much blissed. It lasted for a few minutes, maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds, 1.5 minutes, I don't know. It lasted, and I was I realized this is the true state.
Yeah.
I also realized this is the peace I feel when I am in deep sleep. This I realized when I'm in deep sleep, this is the peace I feel.
ఈ పీసే అనుభవి అదే అంటే మనకి కాన్షియస్ గా అనుభవించాం కానీ దిస్ ఇస్ ది స్టేట్.
Yeah, this is the state I experience when I'm in deep sleep. But I don't have consciousness of that. But now I'm totally conscious of it. Even till today, Nannagaru's grace is so much. So I mean, I'm just sharing because he told me to share experiences. He said, "Niki ఏ experience వచ్చినా spiritual experience నా దగ్గర నుంచి అందరితో షేర్ చేయండి అండి. ఇదేదో పబ్లిసిటీ దొరుకుతుందని కాదు, బట్
for people to understand అంటే గురువు ఎలా వర్క్ చేస్తారు.
Mature souls will get benefited. You won't believe, Usha, I have had this feeling now. Upteen number of times these feelings are regularly coming. When I visited Hadimba temple in Kudumanali last year, when I was just about to go and see the mother, immediately the same peace which Nannagaru gave me, I felt immediately, and I realized that this comes by self-willed. I mean, we have no control. ఈ టైంకి రావాలి, ఆ టైంకి రావాలని రాదు. అది అది అనుకున్నప్పుడు వస్తుంది. అది అనుకున్నప్పుడు that comes. One my school called me for a chief guest లాగా పిలిచింది నన్ను. They called me as a chief guest 3-4 months back. So I went to my school and they were talking about Lord Jesus. And I was sitting under a tree in my school, and I realized that tree was there in my childhood also. The same tree, the same way it was in the school courtyard. And I was looking at the trees, and immediately that same state repeated again. And I was like, Nannagaru is sending me this experience regularly. I was waiting in Yadadri. Yadadri also I got this. Again, Tirumala I was waiting, I got again this. So I realized what Nannagaru gave as a taste, just like a taste he has given Gada, it is self-willed. It comes only if it decides.
Yes,
it doesn't
absolutely.
Manamu enta try chesna, I mean, how much we try, maybe it will not come. But suddenly we don't have any idea about it. We don't know when it's going to happen. Suddenly it happens.
Empower you.
Suddenly it happens. So when Nannagaru was in body, he gave me this experience many times. Up to number of times he gave me. He gave me when I was one day in my room when I was there, and I mentioned all these things to Nannagaru when I met him, that I'm getting these experiences, and he smiled and said, "You will be a Jeevan Mukta. Janmalone Jeevan Muktu avutavu. You will be a Jeevan Mukta," he said, and he smiled and he looked at me, and I remember he took me into that room that day in SR Nagar. He closed the door. And he gave me Yatishwarananda's Meditation and Spiritual Life in Telugu. He gave me that book, Meditation and Spiritual Life in Telugu, and he said that 1 second, one patient is calling. I'll just take 1 second. This.
No problem. Please do. No problem.
Sorry for that. Hello.
Yeah, Mithin.
Yeah, sorry for that, because doctor and I was getting some calls. So he took me in and he gave me that book, Swami Yatishwarananda's book, Meditation and Spiritual Life, and he said, "Mithin, you will attain self-realization. You will attain self-realization in this birth. This is your last birth," he said. And I'll be very frank, it did not totally make me extremely happy, because I did not know what that concept was. So I just touched his feet and did namaskar, and I came out. So when he keeps sending me these experiences regularly, I realized that maybe identifying with that peace that comes, and remaining as that is maybe self-realization. I have no idea, but these things when they were happening when Nannagaru was there, and after Nannagaru left his body also, these things keep happening regularly, especially when you least expect them, in places when you least expect them. Then that is the time when I realized that there is nothing in our hands, and a great power, a great peace, an infinite this thing is running our lives. And that is what Nannagaru was. He was someone who was absolutely infinite in the form of a finite form. He came into our lives. So this is how my initial years with him happened. And he used to pour a lot of love to me, and he used to say that you are the kitten path. You will stay where you are made to stay. You won't go anywhere. Used to say, yeah, many. I don't know, so many hundreds of experiences I have with him. Sometimes some things even which I have forgotten. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, seriously, Mithin. I think we need to pen them down. Not just not for pride or boasting and Karkani. Like as you said, it will be of so much help to people who are walking in the same path.
True.
Even I feel many times, we are so lost in our life that, I mean, all these experiences which Nana has bestowed on us unasked have to be penned down somewhere, and like just to show the world that there's so much beauty, and walking towards truth, and journey towards truth, journey within is something joyful. It's not something you fret.
True.
అంటే అమ్మో ఆధ్యాత్మికం అంటే ఏంటో I mean it's a type of conditioning to the mind మళ్ళీ అది కూడా. I mean it's not so. I mean you're breaking all your knots and setting yourself free.
I know. True.
అంటే ఫ్రీడమ్ వైపు వెళ్ళడం అది భయంకరమైన విషయం లాగా, లేకపోతే అదేదో ముసలి వాళ్ళు చేసేదో, లేకపోతే అట్ ఓల్డ్ ఏజ్ at some point of time probably you're losing something in life, or you're not enjoying something in life అనే రాంగ్ నోషన్ ఉంటుంది. So like for people who do not know or who do not understand, but I think it's important for us to throw light on this, that it's a freedom where I mean the ultimate happiness of your life.
You spoke about Buddha.
Yes. I wanted to come to that, like speak about Buddha, because before we finish Mana Buddha Jayanti kada, it's good that we discuss a little about what Nana spoke and like revealed to us about Buddha.
Buddha ante Nannagaru with me exactly about Buddha major ga he is not communicated a lot teachings about Buddha to me in that sense. Most of the time he spoke about was Ramakrishna literature.
Ramakrishna.
Ramakrishna. In fact, one beautiful incident about Ramakrishna is Ramakrishna Math. One day Nannagaru had come, and in the morning I had boasted something to a patient or something, and suddenly he looked at me in Ramakrishna Mission. He didn't talk to me. He usually smiles or talks to me. He didn't talk to me. He just went away to the bookstall and then the shrine and all that. So then I thought that maybe Nannagaru is angry that because I boasted to a patient about something surgery I did or something, and he is very angry about me with me. So I was feeling very embarrassed. So all the devotees, we went and we sat with this Swamiji. Again, I forgot that Swamiji's name. I think Swami Jnanananda, or I don't remember.
Yes.
Nannagaru sat, and all the sannyasins had taken Nannagaru inside into the sannyasins' rooms. And then again they brought him out and introduced the president to Nannagaru, and all of us were sitting near the feet of Nannagaru. And the president, both of them were talking. So the president was very surprised seeing so many people following Nannagaru, and he said that these are so many disciples and devotees. You should send them here. They should learn about Sharda Mata more, Ramakrishna more. And Nannagaru smiled and said that they are little less knowledgeable about Ramakrishna literature, but they are more knowledgeable about Bhagwan's literature and Bhagwan's way. That's what they said. Then the Swamiji was about to say something. Then see, Nannagaru looked at me. He looked at me and he started to smile. First time. He started to look at me. He looked at me and he started to smile. And I started to get that welling of emotion in me. It was as if Nannagaru was waiting for that moment. And then suddenly the Swamiji said, no, they should know who is Ramakrishna, and they should develop love for Ramakrishna. And then Nannagaru looked at me like this and smiled, and then I cried like anything with tears and said, Swamiji, our Ramakrishna is
Nannagaru.
he is our Ramakrishna. Where else can we search Ramakrishna if not in our Guru? And Swamiji did not know what to answer. He just kept, I was like, I mean, who can I even if anybody wants to argue that even Ramakrishna himself said that you should seek God in your Guru. And Swamiji had no answer to that. And Nannagaru smiled, and there was this coconut laddu. He took that and he gave it to me. And I had it, and I said, thank God, he has forgiven my or what. And he left the place. And I don't know, he does things in a way which we don't understand.
You can't even comprehend, and you'll be surprised that it later isn't.
Yeah, so once he came to Apollo, I don't know if you remember, he came to Apollo. I wondered why he came to Apollo. Then he went and met a cardiologist, and he was very happy with that cardiologist.
He was very, very impressed by him. He was so impressed by the cardiologist.
His name is Dr. Arunachalam. The cardiologist's name is Dr. Arunachalam. And I felt that to meet that cardiologist, he made a saku and came.
He came all the way to Apollo. Oh no, absolutely. He made it so obvious.
So many things about him was so obviously not obvious. That is what I feel.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
That we feel that why is he doing it, and then we realize, oh, he did it for like this. And there was a time I was facing a lot of problem in Apollo. And a lot of problem in Apollo. Some politics, something was going on, and I did not know what would have happened. Suddenly, Nannagaru calls me and says, "Mithin, in Hyderabad vastunnanu in the evening." I said, "Okay, Nannagaru." And next day morning he came directly and he got admitted.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Nephrologist, myself, we were not at all understanding why he got admitted.
He got admitted there.
5 and 9 he got admitted in the room. He was there for 2 days, 3 nights he was there, and that problem totally disappeared. And the moment the problem disappeared, Nannagaru got discharged and went away.
Actually, I was so happy when you mentioned this last time, Mithin, because when he came, he was supposed to come 1 day later, and that was the same time I went for my Ladakh trip. Okay, that was the first time I was going. Ante Nannagaruthone eppudu na journey. One journey I took out of his will. I mean, it's not out of his will; it's in his will itself. But out of the spiritual kakanda, oka photography workshop tour to velladam, which Nana did not appreciate much. So he kept telling all the devotees, "Ushaki kuda break avasaram kada." Manam bold pannu cheppestunam Ushaki, danikemo pakkan practice undi. Usha needs a break. So she was taking a break. She's taking a break. Enta mandito enni saarlu annarante పాపం దానికి కూడా చిన్న బ్రేక్ అవసరం. I felt so guilty later. Then he said he was coming. ఇప్పుడు జిన్నూరులో వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఇది ఉషకి బ్రేక్ అవసరం అని చెప్తున్నారు అందరితో. Then I was like, Nannagaru, if you're coming to Hyderabad, you come the day I'm landing here. అంటే ముందు రోజు వస్తే మళ్ళీ I'll miss him కదా. నేను వస్తాను హైదరాబాద్ అంటే Nannagaru ఈ రోజుకి పలానా డేట్ కి తిరిగి వస్తాను, యూ కమ్ ఆన్ దట్ డే అంటే తప్పకుండా నమ్మ, నువ్వు వచ్చాకనే నేను వస్తాను, మనం కలిసి అపోలోకి వెళ్దాం అన్నారు. ఓకే, బట్ హీ కేమ్ 1 day early with him.
Okay.
And he got admitted also. So I was like, అంటే నువ్వు కావాలనే చేసావు ఇది to make me cry. You didn't like me going to Ladakh, so you indirectly showed me that నన్ను వదిలి నువ్వు వెళ్ళవలసిన అవసరం ఏంటి, నీకు అవసరం ఏంటి అసలు. Why should you need an entertainment other than me? అని ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఇట్ వాజ్ ఏడిపించినట్టు, పిల్లల్ని ఏడిపిస్తాం కదా అట్లాగా. అంటే
నాకు ఇది రామకృష్ణ
అనిపించింది. బట్ వెన్ యూ టోల్డ్ మీ, ఐ మీన్ సత్సంగంలో చెప్పినప్పుడే వెన్ యూ సెడ్, ఐ రియలైజ్ దట్ ఓకే, ఐ మీన్ మనం చాలా అంటే ఒక చిన్న పర్స్పెక్టివ్ నుంచి చూస్తాం ఆయన్ని, అంటే హీ హాస్ సచ్ ఎ వాస్ట్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ వేర్ వి లూజ్ అవర్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్. ఎందుకంటే ఈ లిమిటెడ్ ఐతో మనం యూనివర్సల్ ఐని చూడలేం కాబట్టి మనం వి కమ్ టు కంక్లూషన్, వి జడ్జ్ ఇట్. అందుకే Nannagaru keeps saying, don't look with your gross perspective, there is a higher angle to everything.
True.
అందుకే అంటారు కదా, ఒక జ్ఞాని తప్ప అర్థం చేసుకోలేరు. యూ కాంట్ అసెస్ అనదర్ పర్సన్ విత్ యువర్ మైండ్. వేర్ కెన్ యూ అసెస్ అ జ్ఞాని? Unless you become them, you will not know what's happening. So that was a huge revelation to me, Mithin. This point was a huge revelation, and it helped me a lot. Nannagaru never did not even a single gesture was out of place. It was in the grand plan of the universe.
So there is a story, Usha, in Ramakrishna literature. Ramakrishna in the evening, one day, Dakshineshwar Kali temple puja tarvata, he'll be walking towards the Ganga. And Mahendranath Gupta no lekute Hridayano, I don't remember who it was. They see that they have a revelation where Ramakrishna just putting his foot forward, just each chinna action used to create immense what do you call changes in different universes. Forget about in that area. ఆయన వేసే ఒక చిన్న
అడుగు
ఎంతో
క్రియేట్ సో మచ్,
ఎన్నో లోకాలు ఎన్నో
యూనివర్సెస్ లో
కనెక్టెడ్ ఉన్నది. ఆ అడుగు వాళ్ళ మంచి కోసమే, ఆ ఒక్క మూమెంట్ కోసమే చేస్తారు,
మంచి కోసం.
సో నాన్నగారు చేసింది కదా ఇప్పుడు. దిస్ మైట్ బి బోత్ అవర్ స్టోరీ, మీ స్టోరీ, నా స్టోరీ, బట్ దేర్ విల్ బి thousands of stories also associated,
stories all around. Absolutely, Mithin. That's what even I'm trying to tell. అంటే ఎన్నో, అందుకే నారాయణం పరబ్రహ్మం సర్వకారణ కారణం. అంటే మనం చూసే కారణం అసలు కారణం కాదు. There's a huge grand plan of the universe going on, and your silly stories is a very small part of the entire cosmos. So nothing really. If we only understand that it's a grand plan,
true,
which has got nothing to do with us. It's his creation is running through him, in him. So I mean, ante experiences vast avvali ante let go of all that silly stupid perspectives.
And his movement was so beautiful, so calm, so peaceful, no hurry in any of the movements. I remember this one incident. I don't think I've shared this. Mata Amrutanandamayi's devotee is my friend, my batchmate. He's my friend. Mata Amrutanandamayi Satsang lo aina regular ga trance loki vellipodalu and all that, you know, hug tarvata bliss feel.
Trance loki vellinollu untaru chaala mandi. Yeah, true.
So అరే నువ్వు నాన్నగారి గురించి రాస్తున్నావు కదా, you're writing so much about నాన్నగారు, let me meet him once, I just want to come and meet him అని అన్నారు మన అబ్బాయి.
that devotee.
అదే నా అమృతానంద్ సార్, ప్లీజ్ కమ్ అని I took him to meet నాన్నగారు in SR Nagar flat. So it was evening time when he was about to go for his dinner. So he's sitting there, I am sitting there where usually నాన్నగారు sits కదా, the chair. To the right of the chair we're sitting. Instead of coming and sitting in the chair, Nannagaru very peacefully walked out of the room. Extremely peacefully he walked out of the room as if he was floating. Abbai came in the gani, he went into trance in the walk. I came out of the trance and he said that I have never seen such austere power. I've never experienced this walk in I can't explain. I immediately went into trance. Who is this person? I've never even
experienced something like this. No.
Experienced such a state just by sitting and walk. So as I said, not a single, as you also said, there's not a single thing about him which is not out of context. I don't know who all are benefiting, how everyone is benefiting, nobody knows. Ippadi varaku if I meet that guy even today, he will say I can't explain the experience that I felt that day when I saw him just walk. Nannagaru didn't speak with him. Nannagaru helping dinner. After that trance, he said, oh, you want to talk? He said, what else is there to talk? And he left. He didn't meet Nannagaru personally. He didn't have any word.
Nothing. It sent him into trance because it was something beyond.
He said, I have never experienced this state. I just said, నడుచుకుంటూ వెళ్ళిండ్రా అది నాకు, please don't leave him ra. He's an amazing, I've never seen such a divine person in my life. Just something beyond my understanding. How could he just send me into a trance by just walking past me?
Just walking past me.
Walking past me. Ante nenanna even if it happens, he doesn't leave Nannagaru who takes care of all his devotees. Obviously, my friend already had his guru in Mata Amritananda.
Of course.
But definitely, whenever we speak, he always mentions it, that I have never experienced such depth in my thing. I could see the surprise, I could see the awe in his face. And I didn't meet. He came in the Kalwal house and I experienced it. Let us not spoil the state and let us listen. We never met Nannagaru again. He never came, never met Nannagaru again. But 1 second, as I said, so many people might be.
అందుకే అందుకే మితిన్ అనేవారు కదా, అసలు జ్ఞాని అలా భూమి మీద ఉండడం ఈజ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ హ్యూజ్ మెరిట్. ఎందుకంటే షిప్ లాగా వాళ్ళు వస్తారు, మంచి చెడుతో సంబంధం లేదు, పుణ్యం పాపంతో సంబంధం లేదు. దే జస్ట్ ఎవరిని చూస్తారో, ఎవరి మీద గ్లాన్స్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళ పుణ్యం పండిపోయిందే.
I don't know, so many things. One more, I mean, everything, not only spiritual wise, material wise also. ఏదన్నా నోబుల్ డిజైర్ ఉందనుకోండి, తెలియకుండా ఆయన ఇస్తూ ఫుల్ఫిల్. ఎలా అంటే, నేను ఇది తిరుమల అంటే నాకు చాలా ఇష్టం. తిరుమలలో మేల్చెట్ వస్త్రం అంటే ఇస్ అ సేవ విచ్ ఇస్ అన్ ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్లీ రేర్ సేవ. నోబడీ యూజువలీ గెట్స్ ఇట్. యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ హై కనెక్షన్. అండ్ I was wanting to have that మేల్చెట్ వస్త్రం. నేను ఎంత ట్రై చేసిన, పేషెంట్స్ ఇది అది అన్ని విధాలుగా ట్రై చేసిన, ఐ డి నాట్ గెట్ ఇట్. సో దెన్ నేను ఐ థాట్ ఏం పిచ్చి కాదని స్వామి ఫోటో తీసుకెళ్ళాను. నేను స్వామి ఫోటో తీసుకెళ్ళి నాన్నగారికి చూపించిన జిన్నూరులో స్వామి ఫోటో చూపిస్తే ఆయన చూసి నవ్వి వెళ్ళిపోయినరు. విత్ ఇన్ 1 week I got a call from chairman office that your మేల్చెట్ vastram is there. You can come and you can participate and see Seva. It was in March 2012. March 2012. I was so stunned and I realized that మనం ఏం ఎఫెక్ట్ పెట్టాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. జస్ట్ ఆయనకి ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టు మనం చేస్తే చాలు.
True Mithin. This is something which, until let us not brush this off and let us not finish this off fast. This is so very important. Let us underline this statement. అంటే నోబుల్ థాట్, ఒక నోబుల్ థాట్ మనలోంచి వచ్చింది అంటే he will be overwhelmed. అండ్ అది మెటీరియలైజ్ చేసి ఆనందం ఆయన పొందుతారు. సో అందుకే లెట్ నోబుల్ థాట్స్ కమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆల్ డైరెక్షన్స్ అని ఋగ్వేదాలో అంటారు కదా మితిన్. సో అంటే మైండ్ ఉన్నాక తలంపులు ఎలాగో వస్తాయి. ఆ తలంపులు ఏదో లోక శ్రేయస్సు కోసం, అందరు సుఖం కోసం, అందరూ సుఖంగా ఉండాలి, లోకా సమస్త సుఖినో భవంతు, సర్వే జన సుఖినో భవంతు. అంటే నీకు మనీ ఉండకపోవచ్చు, నీకు దారిద్ర్యం ఉండొచ్చు, ప్రాబబ్లీ యూ కెన్ డూ నథింగ్ టు ఎనీబడి, దట్స్ ఓకే, ఇట్స్ ఓకే, వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ హ్యావ్. నువ్వు మంచి కోరుకోవడం నీకు ఖర్చే ఉంది, నీకు శ్రమే ఉంది. ఐ మీన్ ఇన్ దట్ ఇట్సెల్ఫ్ ఈజ్ యువర్ శ్రేయస్ ఆల్సో. సో అంటే నోబుల్ థాట్కే అంత పొంగిపోతే ఆయన, if you could surrender all your thoughts to him and if you can make him your life and breath, you will be one with him. That goes without saying. No one that too, you don't have to ask for anything. Adochi manalni munchite, I mean it will dissolve us. Tsunami,
that is the word.
దుంగలు అదే అంటారు కదా, దుంగ ముక్కలు అయిన చిన్న చిన్న గడ్డి పరకలు కాదు, దుంగ ముక్కలు లాంటి వాసనలు కూడా కొట్టుకుపోతాయి వస్తే అని. అట్లా లోపల నుంచి ప్రవాహం, అనుగ్రహ ప్రవాహం వస్తే ఇంకా వాసనలు ఏముంది, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బి స్వైప్డ్.
I know.
So live for that grace, as you said Mithin. Let us love him, have this living faith, and let us be committed.
True. What he asks us to do or what he expects us to do.
Yes, to do it.
I have no real idea about the future. Emancipation alanti concepts lekunda just get along with your life. Never hurt anyone unnecessarily in that sense. I also feel this. I think we had this discussion recently. that if anything untoward also happens in my life, for example, I realize it's only
Yeah. This is something very important for everybody of us to learn, Mithin, because the other day I asked you, అంటే పీపుల్ ప్రవర్తన కరెక్ట్ గా లేకపోయినా, పీపుల్ అంటే కావాలని ఇంటెన్షనల్ గా మంచితనాన్ని వీక్నెస్ గా తీసుకుని ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్ చేసిన, అంటే రియాక్షన్ లేకుండా, అంటే యాక్ట్ బట్ డు నాట్ రియాక్ట్ అన్నట్టు, హౌ డు యూ యూనో లైక్ అక్కడ కూడా హ్యూమిలిటీ చూపించి నవ్వుతూ దాన్ని కూడా చాలా హంబుల్ గా పొలైట్ గా ప్రెజెంటేషన్ అనేది ఎలా చేయగలుగుతున్నావు? బికాజ్ ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ ది ఆన్సర్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ యూ. అడిగితే దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ యూ సెడ్, అంటే అందులో కూడా, అంటే ఆ వ్యక్తిలో కూడా ఉన్నది నాన్నగారే, అక్కడ నాన్నగారే ఉండి అక్కడి నుంచి పలికిస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి లెట్ మీ బీ హంబుల్ ఈవెన్ టు దట్ అని.
That is true. There is not
the understanding, అంటే హంబుల్ గా ఉండాలని కాదు, the understanding itself will make you humble.
It's very important that you need not try to be humble. If you Nannagaru used to say understanding is yoga.
You can't try to be humble actually. It has to come.
Understanding is yoga. Nannagaru annaru this word understanding is yoga. Whatever untoward thing also happens, I realize that the untoward thing is happening because Nannagaru wants it to happen.
Yes.
So there is no point of feeling anything
it's not nothing apart from him అనేది తెలిసిపోతే చాలు.
తెలిసిపోతుంది. That's true. And again this ఎన్నో లోకాలు ఎన్నో విధాలుగా ఆయన వల్ల ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు ఈ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ ఎలా అవుతుందో who knows. Maybe personally మనకు వేరే విధంగా it's happening differently to us, but maybe in the grander scheme of things it's a very important thing to happen. So just think surrender. That has been the Ramakrishna's philosophy also. I think one more thing I used to love about Nannagaru's interviews. So there is one interview, I think it was done online interview.
John David.
Where, I think John David only. I don't know his name. He interviewed all the important spiritual masters.
Yeah, true. Yes.
So then in one question he asked Nannagaru, self-inquiry, surrender and all that. Nannagaru tells a very, very important point which still today I think it holds a very important this thing in Bhagwan philosophy also. That Bhagwan did not realize through self-inquiry, or Bhagwan did not attain that through self-inquiry. ఆయనకి అది వచ్చింది, గ్రేస్ వచ్చింది. ఆ గ్రేస్ వచ్చినందు వలన he was able to realize. Bhagwan did not realize through self-inquiry. It happened because he surrendered to that.
Yes.
So then I understood whatever said and done, మనం సాధన చేస్తాము చేయము, whatever said and done, the greatest sadhana is still surrender only. The more you surrender to him, the more you leave it to his this thing. Work with the concept of what he wants you to do.
Exactly. This is so important. What he wants you to do, not what you want to do.
What he wants you to do, work with that concept. Whatever that needs to be given, whatever that needs to be realized, will easily be given.
Yes.
Again, Ramakrishna definitely Zamindar parable is very beautiful. Ramakrishna says, Zamindar, you try to find out about him, you learn something. But Zamindar himself comes and says, this is me, these are my properties, and nobody will give you that knowledge except the Zamindar who knows himself. So
True.
Born into the grace of God, earn the grace of God. That is more than important. I think Nannagaru says that word, Geda. It's not important that you see Rama. It's important that Rama
sees you.
I think Nannagaru cheptaru kada. I'm not too. Right. So God's grace earning is very important, and that we can only earn by doing what Nannagaru expects us to do, because he knows that what we are doing also, perhaps, this is my understanding, I might be wrong, we are working out our prarabdha, whatever
absolutely
ఏదవుతుందో అది మనం వర్కౌట్ చేసేస్తున్నాము, అది ఎగ్జాస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాము. ఆ ఎగ్జాస్ట్ అవ్వగానే ఇమీడియట్లీ ఆయన
Absolutely, Mithin. So beautiful. You have given such amazing clarity in a very natural way. I mean, this is so important for all. This is very important for all who are walking this path.
Very important, yes.
And as you said, surrender. And as Sharada Ma said, sahanam. Maybe about Buddha we need another session.
Yeah. The Buddha gurinchi, this one sentence I'll tell. Maybe Nannagaru, what he made me understand when he used to give me these states is, Buddha's realization is a very different concept. బుద్ధుడు బోధి ట్రీ కింద కూర్చున్నప్పుడు ఆయనకి రియలైజేషన్ పాత్ ఎలాగో తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఆయన అన్వేషణ when he did the research కదా, he remembered his time as a child when one day he was sitting under the orchard tree, apple orchard in the fields when he was a boy, and a state of infinity comes suddenly, reveals itself to him. Then he realizes that maybe that is the path that I have to hold on to, and then that will reveal the truth to me. So he actively brings that state back to him, that infinity consciousness techi aa state lone untaru undesarki so as the night process he becomes enlightened. Now because Buddha is someone who is absolutely pure, he was absolutely having no vasana in that sense. He tries to tempt. These are all my armies and enter, but Buddha says you have so many armies, I have only one army, and he touches the earth. So భూమాత బైక్ లేచి మీరెంత నా ముందట బుద్ధుడి గురించి నాకు తెలుసు, మీరెంత ఆయన ముందట అని ఆ ఆర్మీస్ అన్ని పంపించేస్తారు భూమాత. So then everyone realizes that this seat only Buddha can occupy, and he brings that state which we all experience in small glimpses. All of us devotees experience that glimpse. That glimpse he brings onto himself, and he stabilizes it, and he attains the supreme state.
Wow, this is something, Mithin, because I haven't heard this anywhere. I'm so glad that you told us today. Oh, so the glimpses he had in his childhood, he brought it up and he stabilized his state sitting under the tree when he did his
he goes into that he thinks what is the way, and then suddenly he remembers in childhood under the apple orchard tree is that state. So then he brings that state on himself. As a person, if I want to bring that state to myself, I can't.
You can't.
Vasana.
Because as you said, absolutely so beautiful, Mithin, because he was a pure being, he could bring it back, and he was so elevated already.
And then he gives the path. He state మీరు కూడా తీసుకురావచ్చు మీలో. You can bring that same state. But this is the way you should live your life.
అని 8-fold path చెప్పారు అప్పుడు. అంటే ఇలా జీవిస్తేనే నువ్వు పవిత్రత వస్తుంది, పవిత్రత వస్తేనే నువ్వు ఈ గ్లిమ్స్ వస్తుంది, ఈ గ్లిమ్స్ వస్తేనే నువ్వు స్టెబిలైజ్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది.
So that is
absolutely.
This is what. So everybody, I don't know, Miranda, many people don't have an idea about this story, but this is how Buddha's enlightenment happened. And the beauty of Buddha's story is, he says even you can do it, but you have to follow this path.
8-fold path.
The 8-fold path. You serious ga proper ga follow hote, then definitely
follow it, you will get there. Absolutely. As you said, work as Nana asked you to work, do as Nana asked you to do. డూ అదే బుద్ధుడు చెప్పిన 8-fold పాత్ నువ్వు ఫాలో అవ్వు. ఎప్పుడైనా కూడా లైక్ భగవద్గీతలో కృష్ణుడు చెప్పింది ఫాలో అవుతూ ఉంటేనే పవిత్రత వస్తుంది. పవిత్రత వస్తే తప్ప నీకు ఆత్మ సాక్షాత్కారం కలగదు. ఆత్మ సాక్షాత్కారం కలిగినా కూడా వాసన క్షయం అవ్వకుండా అది స్టెబిలైజ్ అవ్వదు. సో ఐ మీన్ దిస్ ఆల్ do's and don'ts is a must.
These are guidelines. Definitely guideline is very important. Ramakrishna says these are like the చెట్టు పెరుగుతుంటే మనం కట్టెలతో కట్టేస్తాం చూడండి, చెట్టు స్ట్రైట్ గా పెరగాలని. ఆ కట్టెలండి అది ఒక్కసారి పెరిగిన తర్వాత ఆ కట్టెలు ఉన్నా ఒకటే లేకపోయినా ఒకటే.
But till then
our do's and don'ts are very important. Ramakrishna says, Vivekananda, all the monastic disciples, they all say the same thing. Many times I mean there's so many experiences I can share, but I don't know whether we are
we'll do it again. I mean I think we should invite you more often. We are so I mean I mean I think maybe when needed you are on screen again.
Yeah, I'm always there because he told me whatever experiences have you share.
And also you have a vast knowledge of it. I mean, it's not only experiences undadamu, having knowledge is a added gift kada Mithin. See, few people might have an experience they might not be able to express. Few people might have a lot of knowledge but they might not have the experience to really express it well. It should be impactful ante if nee anubhavam aitena it's impactful to the listeners.
Yeah. Right
So
from
you
the
have
time,
both.
Yeah, right from the time I saw Sri Ramakrishna's photo when I'm 5 years old, one sentence of Sri Nannagaru, which he always keeps me in the back of my mind, is everything is arranged. That's what he said. Ramakrishna photo చూడడము, అలా ప్రేమ పుట్టుకు రావడము, Ramakrishna mission, Bhagwan, Nanagar, everything as if Nanagar has decided already how my life should go.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, I have to trust the process, give myself
Trust the process. Absolutely, trust the process.
Give myself up to it, and there's never been a time when the process has failed. There's now
absolutely.
So many years, not a single utterance of his it has come to fail. It has always happened the way he has said, and if not in such a divine being, where else can anybody? All of us have faith and love.
Yeah.
There's nobody else. Even today, if I go to any temple, I only see him. I don't see any other deity. Wherever I see him only. I don't see anything else. It's like that. So for me, everything is
like Nannagaru used to always sing Mithin ante Bhagwan grace ఆయన జీవితంలోకి వచ్చి భగవాన్ ఆయన వేరు కాదు అనే అనుభవం ఆయన కంప్లీట్ గా వచ్చేసిన తర్వాత నాన్నగారు ఎంతమంది మహాత్ముల గురించి మాట్లాడినా కూడా అంటే హిజ్ లవ్ ఫర్ హిజ్ గురు హిజ్ మాస్టర్ ఐ మీన్ దో దే ఆర్ వన్ మా ఆటలో నీవే పాటలో నీవే మాటలో నీవే అన్నీ నీవే అంతా నీవే భగవాన్ అవునా భగవాన్ అని యూస్ టు లైక్ question avuna bhagavan and question and exclamation at the same time. I mean that's his loving play with Bhagavan ante anni nuve.
Many of you devotees obviously spend more time with him and you've got so many more experiences. Mine is very few because maybe I didn't meet him.
I mean it's not about how many experiences but how profound your experience had been.
Our time maybe with him was very less, and he used to give me a lot of
lovely, wonderful Mithin.
Whenever I used to meet him,
wonderful. And we all loved it when you came to Nana. The meetings with you and Nana had, all of us enjoyed it. I mean, it was a bliss for us also. It's not just you and Nana. It was more blissful even to us. maybe because you're so receptive and so childlike. Nana was also childlike. You were also childlike. So it was such a pleasure to see both of you together, and the conversation was so awe-inspiring. I mean, and Anni, it's a mixed emotion.
Mixed emotion too. Anta bhakti ante Ramakrishna ante love. I didn't have anything else. My only thing I had was like mad love for Ramakrishna. I loved him like anything. I still love him a lot, even today morning.
Of course. It shows. It shows. The honest confession. Thank you so much, Mithin.
Okay, thank you.
I think we need to connect. We need to connect more often, and I think this is so inspiring. And I think many devotees will benefit out of your session, Mithin. Thank you. Thank you. Om Shri Nana Paramatmane Namaha.
Guru Rupamo Giri Rupamo Sri Nana Padame Maku Saranyam